Hey everyone! Sometimes the most profound lessons in life aren't found in grand victories or loud pronouncements. They're found in the quiet moments, in the uncomfortable silences, and in the wisdom of mistakes. You know, in all my travels, I've seen a lot of things. I've seen people build kingdoms and tear them down. I've watched as hearts were broken and then healed, and I've witnessed countless arguments. There's one story, though, that always stands out to me as a perfect example of what not to do. It's the story of Job and his friends. Job, as you know, lost everything. His wealth, his family, his health. He was left with nothing but his grief. When his three friends heard what happened, they did something truly amazing. They traveled a great distance, not to speak, but to be with him. For 7 days and 7 nights, they sat in silence. They didn't offer advice. They didn't try to explain the why. They simply sat with their friend in his pain. And for that week, they were the best friends anyone could ever ask for. They understood a timeless truth I've learned over and over, that in the face of suffering, presence is often more powerful than 1,000 words. But then, the silence broke. Job began to lament his fate, and that's when things changed. Job's friends had a theology, a belief system, that was simple and to them, unbreakable. If you do good, God blesses you. If you do wrong, you suffer. And so, seeing Job's suffering, they came to a devastating conclusion. He must have sinned. They abandoned empathy for argument. They stopped listening to his pain and started debating to win. They were so intent on proving their theological framework was right that they completely missed the person in front of them who was broken and hurting. They didn't just hurt Job with their words, they added to his distress. They made him feel not just like a victim of tragedy, but a condemned criminal. And that, my friends, is a lesson for us all. I've seen this so many times. It's not just in ancient stories, it's in our everyday lives. It's in the family dinner where we're so determined to prove our point about politics that we forget we're talking to someone we love. It's in the comments section where we fire off a biting retort instead of taking a moment to understand a different viewpoint. We become more interested in being right than in being connected. A long time ago, in a dusty little village, I saw two families arguing over a property line. For generations, they had been close friends. But this one argument, it became everything. They had documents, maps, witnesses. They argued and argued until they were no longer arguing about the land. They were arguing about who was the better person, who was more trustworthy, who was right. And in the end, they won their arguments. But they lost their friendship. The land they fought for so hard became a symbol of what they had lost. I have carried this one thought with me always, from that village to this moment. Don't argue to win, ask to understand. Winning an argument is a short-term gain. It might give you a fleeting sense of superiority. But understanding, that's a long-term investment. It builds trust, it fosters compassion, and it opens a door to genuine connection. So the next time you feel that fire building in your chest, that need to prove you're right, pause, take a deep breath, and ask a question. Not a rhetorical question meant to trap the other person, but a real, honest question. Help me understand what you mean by that. I'm not sure I see it from your perspective. Could you share more? What is it about this that's so important to you? These aren't signs of weakness, they're signs of strength. The strength to choose empathy over ego and connection over conflict. Just like Job's friends, we're not perfect. We'll make mistakes. But the most important lesson isn't about never getting it wrong. It's about knowing when you have and choosing to do better. Choose to listen, choose to understand. Because the world doesn't need more people who are right. It needs more people who are kind. Thank you for sharing this time with me. If this story has resonated with you, let me know in the comments below. And if you're looking for more inspiration and moments of quiet reflection, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. Let's build a community focused on growth, wisdom, and purpose. I'll see you next time.